Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video today. I have a really important message for you to take control while you can. There's many things you can actually control in your life, so you can shift your life, so you can shift your reality, and you can actually start living your life in a greater alignment with the vision that you have, the ideas that you have, the intentions that you're planting. All our actions and intentions are like seeds in the grand field of life. And actually today I wrote this really creative message that I want to share with you as an introduction in today's video, and it goes like this. When you nurture seeds well, they will grow well. But some seeds are late bloomers. Some grow in unexpected ways and forms. Some don't grow into anything at all, but at least they've tried. Some lack commitment, others lack courage, and still others lack resilience. But out of all the possible ones, there's always the one that has it all. So don't give up when you see no growth in your life. Maybe you haven't planted the one that has it all yet. Know that each intentional act is like a seed in the grand field of life. And more we are trying and searching and researching ourselves and finding all kinds of different inspirations and aspirations and influences of others and so on, we're trying different things. And for a long period of time, we most probably don't find that the one seed, the one that will grow into something really interesting. Like for example, when I've started painting and working on this project now called AttractPassion, at the beginning I had no idea that this will actually turn into something so big and that actually it will create this incredible community of wonderful souls. I had no idea this will happen that way. But I had no idea about it because I've started so many different things before. So many different things, and I thought, oh, this is the one. I've started one YouTube channel before and I thought, oh, this is the one, but it wasn't. Before that, I was in extreme sports. I was competing and I was really serious about it, and I thought, this is the thing. I always knew that this is what I want to do, but it wasn't. And I thought, well, entrepreneurship, this is the thing that I want, and it wasn't. And maybe even what I'm doing now is not the thing that will be, maybe something in the future will become even bigger, maybe even greater or more meaningful or whatever. And at that time I will say, oh, I thought AttractPassion was the one thing, but it wasn't, right? So we never know, but only because we don't know, it may kinda inspire us to keep going, right? Only because we don't know what is the one thing, we are constantly trying something new. But at the same time, we believe that it holds within a potential, right? There's always something unseen within everything. Even when you look into the flower, you see a plant, you see maybe its beauty, its colors, its form, maybe you can smell it. You may recognize, oh, it has some deep roots, but there's something unknown within it. And that unknown part is that it holds within seeds for its next generations. Seeds that will turn into something that is right now invisible, but it exists as a potential. So everything we do has within seeds that will turn into something new, something unknown, something unfamiliar. And the seeds should inspire us to keep up. So to take control while you can is a reminder to remind yourself that everything you start holds within a potential. You will never know if that's the one thing. Often people ask, oh, how can I know that this is it? This is what I should do. You never know. You never know. That's why you should keep up. And life will tell you if it's not. Life will tell you, hey, turn into other direction because this is not resonating with you anymore. That's the reason why I said to you, I don't know. Right now this AttractPassion project, this is something I really love to do, something that is helping millions of people. It's a wonderful thing, but maybe in the future something new will happen, something new will begin. We never know, that's why we have to stay open, because life is always bringing us something new, right? Life is a constant flow of changes, and we never know what's the one thing. But during all this process, we are controlled by two forces. One is meaning we attach to things. Another is our emotional reaction, our emotional response to what is happening. And when we become more conscious, more aware around these two huge forces, emotional energy, this is a strong force. And we just have to become aware of it so we can start shifting our lives. And when it comes to meaning, it really comes to our knowledge, what kind of knowledge we hold around what's happening. Like someone may get sick and may say, oh, I was cursed. Something bad happened and now I'm here, overwhelmed, can't do much, I just have to lay in bed and do nothing. But another person, more acknowledged, may say, well, life gave me this opportunity to slow down and reflect on how my life was going, how unsatisfied or satisfied I am with my life, and this is what I can change and do, and maybe I have to take a greater care of my body, and maybe I have to love myself more, and maybe I have to slow down before it's too late, and things like that. Two different people may see a similar situation in completely different ways. That's the power of meaning. But then emotions, right? When you feel sad, you act like a sad person. When you feel angry, you act like an angry person. When you're excited, you act like an excited person. But in ancient Egyptian teachings, when Thoth, also known as the god of wisdom, the god of knowledge, a being who came to this new civilization and brought an incredible new knowledge of incredible practical insights for life. He said that a person needs to gain a certain degree of self-control. And then later, ancient Greeks adopted the same teachings when they started researching the power of self-control. What does it mean to control your own emotions? Because it feels kind of artificial if we're thinking about that, if we're thinking about self-control, like I have to control myself. But actually we become aware of what we choose to think. We become aware of our mental concepts. We become aware of how we are looking at life. And we ask ourselves, well, is this helpful for my growth? The way that I see my life, the way I'm thinking about life, the way I'm thinking about others, the way I'm thinking about my talents, is this helping me to grow? And it requires a deep introspection. So if you want to control your emotions, you first need to become aware of what's happening in your mind. And when you recognize, oh, yes, my perception could change, if I become more perceptive, if I could perceive myself in a deeper level, right? You know, what does it mean to perceive yourself in a deeper level? It means that behind the thoughts there's just quietness. And if you look at yourself from that inner quietness, you start looking at yourself as you would be looking into a certain object. And that's what it means to be objective. You look at yourself like a thing. Okay, this thing is kinda shaky right now. What is causing this thing to be shaky? Oh, a certain story is not really balanced or not a great pillar of stability. That person is constantly telling to himself or herself that he's weak, that he's ugly, that he's untalented, that he's bad at doing this, that he's getting sick and tired and so on. Those are really, really bad stories, right? And it is causing you to feel all kinds of negative emotions, and suddenly you become victim of your own stories. And a teacher of wisdom would come to you and ask you why you are so mean towards yourself, and you would say, well, because I don't know what else I could do. I don't know how to stop this chattering. And you don't need to. You just need to become aware of it. You just need to become aware of it, my friend. And remind yourself that you deserve an upgrade. So upgrade yourself with a greater knowledge. Start reading books that will uplift you. Actually surround yourself with books that will uplift you, and read them more often, and practice what you've read, and see what works. And suddenly you may become just a bit more grateful. Suddenly you may become a bit more excited. Suddenly you may become a bit more positive. Suddenly you may become a bit more grounded because you've started putting things that you've learned into work. Suddenly you've stopped doubting so much into yourself, because you will notice that you're not the only one that has doubts. Actually, we've been all programmed to believe that we are powerless and that change is impossible. So we all have doubts into ourselves, but some of us decide, well, doesn't matter what I feel, I will do what is right. And we start doing more right things and less wrong things. And when a person starts doing more right things, the wrong things stop controlling him or her. And that person becomes quite righteous, right? That person becomes quite gravitated towards where he or she wants to go. And that's how you gain a level of self-control. So you're not controlling your emotions. Sure, your emotions are controlling you, but you actually start taking control over your life, over your mind, over your information input. And you soon notice that all this information, the quality of information, leads to the quality of your emotion. And when you take care of that, your whole life starts changing. But then there's another thing that is, again, a really important reminder that your talk prevents you from actually doing it. Lao Tzu said some wise words when he said, "Those who know do not speak. Those who speak do not know." And what he meant by that, in my opinion, he meant that when you really know what you have to do, you don't need to talk about what you will do. You just start doing it. When you don't know what to do, you only talk about what you want to do. And therefore you never started doing that. So I know that because in life, I'm a quiet person. I was always a quiet person. I only speak when I have something to say. But most of the time I'm quiet. I know how to stand for myself. I know how to speak the truth when it's necessary, but only when it's necessary. And actually, for a great part of my life, I thought that it's something wrong with me, because most people are constantly talking and I'm not like that. So I thought, well, there's something wrong with me. I'm not so communicative. Is there something wrong with me? People are talking about what they want to do, what they will do, what they're going to do. But few years later, they're still talking, right? Have you experienced that? Talking, and then they say talk is cheap, because it is. But you see those other people who are the quiet ones, the odd ones, don't fit in, but their lives are great. Have you seen those? Have you seen those? Not talking much, not exposing themselves much, but they have a successful business, or they are great artists, or they are, doing something really helpful for society, or whatever it is. Stop talking what you will do, but actually start doing it. That is a great power, because with talking you're wasting your energy. And again, most people will just say to you, stop dreaming. So to turn your dreams into reality, just start turning them into reality with taking action. Remember, that's how we plant seeds. Not all seeds will grow into something that you want to see, but in the field of all seeds, there's always the one in between them. There's always the one. You can have a package of seeds. If you're familiar with gardening and you have a whole hand of seeds, you know that not all of them will actually grow into a certain vegetable or flower, but some in between will, most definitely. That's how you should look at your actions. Not all of them will actually make results, but some of them will, and some of them will make actually great results. But because people don't see results, they quit, because they don't understand this concept that, sometimes some seeds are late bloomers. Some seeds actually grow into something unexpected that may be even greater on the long term. But if you're attached to one idea, you may miss something greater that may happen a bit later than you've expected. And that's how life is constantly teaching you to be a better observer, to be a bit more patient, to be a bit more conscious, and to be a bit more open-minded and open-hearted. And to be open-minded doesn't mean just to think positively, sometimes people say, or to be mindful. But actually it means to always question yourself how much you're limiting your life's experiences because of the lack of understanding of what is actually happening. And it leads us to the knowledge of Socrates. Who was Socrates? Socrates was this mysterious philosopher who built his philosophy around questioning. He said, I have no wisdom to share, but I have a lot of questions. That's what he said. So he was always questioning everything, to such a degree that he became dangerous for governments, because he influenced people in the society to question everything, even the acts of governments. Is this really the right thing? Are they really telling us the truth? Is this really how it should be? Is this righteous? Is this wrong? Is this, when we start questioning, like, will this grow into something? I don't know. Let's wait and see. Let's keep watering it. Let's keep nurturing it. Let's keep doing it until the universe will give a sign that maybe it's the wrong mountain we're climbing on. And if you're intentional, universe will speak to you. Forces of life will speak to you. Only those who are listening can hear, right? So be aware to how life communicates with you. There's many forces that are constantly available to you, but you're so attached to what you want to see that you miss what has been offered to you. So to be a bit more open-minded means to look around yourself with less attachment and more imagination, more creativity, more open heart, think less and feel more. Sometimes you start a project and your thoughts may say to you, stop doing it, it's not growing into anything, you're not capable of doing that, but your heart is vibing in that intense sense of joy. This is a sign you should just keep up. That's what happened to me when I've started painting. I felt like, nothing is growing. Videos don't have any views. People are not buying my art, but I am having such an incredible time at doing that. I just want to keep up. And I'm sure if I will keep up, it will grow into something beautiful. Now you see what happens. When we really find, that the one seed that actually turns into something, and we have a great sense of joy. Not always. I'm not always joyful. Sometimes I just know, well, I have to do it. Some days are the ones that we are not inspired, but we feel a sense of responsibility. I have to do it. I have to do it for people. I have to do it. Right? It's not like we're always on fire. Sometimes we're just making sure that the fire doesn't burn out. And it's still okay. So at this point, I also want to remind you to spend more time with people who want the best for you and less with those who only want something from you. Just so you can make sure that your fire doesn't burn out. Just a reminder, spend more time with people who want the best for you and a bit less with those who only want something from you. A friendly reminder. And you will always notice that actually this inner fire just needs to be nurtured, like a seed that you plant. So my friends, take control while you can. As long as you're alive, you have control over this. My friends, I hope you've enjoyed in today's message. I'm sending you all lots of love, blessings, and power. Thanks to all of you for supporting my art in our Etsy shop, I Draw My Passion. The link is in the description of this video. We are running a special sale. You can go there, check it out. And thank you so much for supporting this mission. With that, you're supporting everything I'm doing, so thank you so much. Until next time, one love.